Okay, let us recall freely falling object. So we have already discussed that in the previous video, and the differential equation which represent free falling body is d square y by dt square is equal to minus 9.8. So we resolved that into two differential equations, dy by dt as v and dv by dt as minus 9.8. We then solved equation 1 to get new value of y, and equation 2 to get new value of v, and we have these equations. Y is equal to y plus h into, this is the equation, so this is the function f1, so f1 t comma y comma v. Okay, so we solve this to get v, and we calculated the new time like this. Okay, we have discussed the algorithm. We defined both f1 and f2. We initialized everything. Then we started a loop to find new values of y and y, v and t. We appended them in the respective lists. Then we plotted the graph, time position graph and time velocity graph. So this was our program. Okay, let's consider a body falling through a viscous medium. So let's consider a body of mass m which falls through a medium. Its velocity is v in the downward direction. So it will experience two forces. One is mg in the downward direction and the other one is k into v in the opposite direction of velocity, that is in the upward direction. So these are the two forces. Okay, if I choose upward direction as positive, then I can write the force on the body F is equal to the gravitational force plus the viscous force. Okay, so the gravitational force is nothing but m into g. It is in the downward direction, so it's minus mg, plus the viscous force is k into v in the opposite direction of velocity. Okay, whatever may be the velocity, it will be in the opposite direction of velocity. So this is it. So you can write the force as m into a. Okay, dividing throughout with m, we'll get a is equal to negative g minus some constant k divided by m into v. K is a constant and m is also a constant. Therefore, I can consider k by m as a constant. Let me put k by m is equal to some other constant, say c. And this is actually drag coefficient. How much drag the body will experience is indexed by this particular constant. Therefore, I can rewrite this equation for acceleration a as negative g minus c into v, correct? In the form of differential equation, I can write this as, so this equation may be written as d square y by dt square equals minus g minus c into v, correct? As we have done in the previous example, we shall resolve these equations into two first order differential equations. Namely, the first equation is, let me put dy by dt equals v. So this is first equation. Now with this equation will change as dv by dt equals minus g minus cv. So we'll call this as equation number 2. And let me call this function as some let me call this function as f1. So f1 of independent variable is t, dependent variables are y and v, is equal to v, and this function as f2 of t comma y comma v equals minus, we know that g is 9.8, minus 9.8 minus constant into velocity. So we have this equation. Now we can solve equation 1 and we will get the velocity, sorry, we will get the new value of y as y equals previous value of y plus h into f1 of t comma y comma v. Solving this equation, we will get the new value of velocity v equals previous value of velocity plus h, the time step, into f2 of t comma y comma v. Now you can calculate the new time t as t plus h. So we will use these equations. This equation, and this equation to simulate this motion. So in the previous example also the equations were the same, correct? The only difference was in is in the function f2. Previously, when we deal with the free fall, there will be only this term minus 9.8, because the only force acting on the body was mg. But in the case of free body which is falling through viscous medium, due to this viscous force, some additional term will be there, correct? And you can call C as the coefficient of viscous drag. You may call C as coefficient of viscous drag. So this determines how much drag is offered by the medium. Okay, right? Fine. So we can use the previous algorithm with slight modifications. What are the modifications required? You must modify modifications required. The first one is you must define f2 of t comma y comma v, something like this. Previously it was return minus 9.8. You must replace something like this. Instead of this, you must define f2 of t comma y comma v as return minus 9.8 minus c into v. So another important point is this: we don't know what c is, so you must set c as some value, say some 2. Okay, so you must include this in the initialization step. Okay, so that's all. So with these modifications, our previous problem can be modified to simulate falling object through viscous medium. Okay, so we shall see the code. I have already made those modifications. Please note that f2 is modified as minus c star v, and I have set some value for c. Instead of this, you may ask the user to input the coefficient of drag. So if you set this 0, you will get this as some free fall, and if it is non-zero, you will have a viscous flow, right? So flow through viscous medium, right? Let's try this. I made only these two changes. So let me run the code. So I consider sufficiently large height, and let me see how the result is. I'm going to run this. Okay. You can see one interesting result. You can see that the velocity time graph, you can see that the velocity begins with 0 and it increases in magnitude. You can see that this is negative because it is in the downward direction. So it keeps on increasing and increasing and increasing. And at some point, what happens now? It attains a steady velocity. Thereafter, the velocity remains the same throughout. Now, can you guess what happened? I told you that there are two different forces. One is the opposing force, that is buoyant force, and the other one is gravitational force. The buoyant force increases, or the resistive forces increases with speed. Now you can see that as the speed increases to a particular value, the upward resistive force become numerically equal to the downward gravitational force, and at that point the net force becomes 0. And if net force becomes 0, there will not be any acceleration, which means that the velocity shall remain the same throughout in the remaining fall. So we call this as the terminal velocity. So you can see that it attained terminal velocity. So we have considered a body falling from some height, say 100 meter. Due to viscous force, the speed increases but not linearly. You can see that for free fall, it increases linearly. I can run that after explaining this thing. So it increases slightly, considerably in the beginning, and the rate of increase decreases and decreases and decreases. That means acceleration keep on decreasing and decreasing, and at some point the velocity time graph flattens, which means that it attained a steady velocity, and this velocity is called terminal velocity. Fine. You can see that the position time graph also modified. You can see that it is almost linear at the end because it has already attained the terminal speed. So its position time graph will be a straight line. Correct? So it took 11.2 seconds to fall. Now let us see what happens if I set c is equal to 0. In order to see what will be the position time graph as well as velocity time graph. You can see that the velocity time graph increases linearly, and you can see that it the time is just some 4.5 something. It took only this much time to fall, and you can see that the position time graph is parabola in nature. Correct? It's not a straight line. Okay, it takes only 4.5 seconds to fall, but if there is some viscous medium, due to the opposing force, it falls very slowly and it takes more time. Hope you understood. Now let us see what happens if I increase the coefficient of viscosity to 2. Previously it was just 1. Now let us see what happens. So you can see that all of a sudden it attains terminal speed, and the terminal speed is very less, roughly some 4.8, say roughly 5 meter per second, and you can see that it takes very long period of time. It takes roughly 21 seconds to fall. So that's the case. Fine. And if I am not considering a very high position, high initial position, say it starts to fall from some 5 meter. Okay, you can see that the velocity time graph is something like this. It's not linear. It hardly attains the terminal speed. Okay, because it has to attain a particular speed, and that means it has to fall a particular height. Then only it can attain that particular speed and attain steady velocity, that is terminal velocity. So we have discussed the simulation of a falling body in a viscous medium, and we have seen through simulation that the body has a tendency to attain a steady velocity, we call that velocity as terminal velocity, and as we have expected, the time of fall increases with the coefficient of air drag increases. Fine. Thank you. You may try this. I will be uploading the Python code. You may download it and you can make necessary modifications, and you can see how each and every parameter influences the motion. Thank you.